You. Gaga greetings. Let me type that in here. Gaga greetings. Gaga greetings. This your brother. Right back at you. By popular demand. With downtown Philly. As you can see, the kids are playing, doing their thing, being children, as they should. And we're right here at City Hall. This is City Hall, downtown Philadelphia. We're at the center of the city. Alright? So, like I said, I'm coming to you black by popular demand right now because I did a download talking about the center of the city and the Masonic influence on the city / the government. You know what I'm saying? So, we're about to go in real quick. Peace and love, bro. Black and Nobel. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, no, that's Bones. Or whatever. He copying my man's style. All right, so we're at Center City. Center of the city. The City Hall. We're in City Hall. This is City Hall, downtown Philadelphia. All right? So I'm going to show you some social, political, geographical. Oh, hold on real quick. Hold on. Okay, right back at you. What up? Peace and love. All right. So, like I said before, we're downtown Philadelphia. We're at City Hall. It's the center of the city. This is City Hall. All right? So it's important that we notice that City Hall is where they write legislation. This is where they pass legislation. This legislation is enforced in different areas of government, different areas of the city, but they all converge right here at the center of the city. Okay? So I'm at City Hall, downtown Philadelphia. You see? This is City Hall. This is the main building. Alright? Now, real estate. What's important about real estate? You know what I'm saying? Real estate, the first 3 rules of real estate is location, location, location. Those are the first 3 rules of real estate. Alright? So with that being said, with the first 3 rules of real estate, the most important things, the first 3 rules being location, location, location. Okay, so City Hall passes the legislation. So we understand the importance of this real estate. This real estate is cohesive to the center of the city, to legislation. All right? Now, what's important about legislation, we're going to need municipalities. We're also going to need the judicial branch. We're going to need all of that to be near the legislation. That's going to have to be in close proximity with the legislation. All right? So now, we're downtown Philadelphia. We're at City Hall. What's in close proximity of the legislation, which is passed in this building right here, City Hall building. This is where mayor's at. This is where they write all of the laws and all of the whatever happens down here. It takes place downtown City Hall. This building. This is the legislation. Okay. Peace and love, everybody that came into the room. Yo, I acknowledge everybody in here. Peace and blessings. Okay, so with this building being where the legislation is at, we got directly across the street. But I'm going to show you. Hold on. Directly across the street, the municipal building. This is the municipal building. This is where all the utilities, license and inspection, permits, all of that takes place right here. The water company, the gas company, the electric company, all of that takes place here, and this is right across the street from the legislation. Makes sense, right? Right. Now, this building is a bank. This building is a bank. That's the railroad station, the railroad company. Behind that building is the probation building. We all know this. If you from Philly, you already know that's the probation building. When you're on probation, you go down there to deal with your PO, to take your urine test, to pay your monies, whatever the case may be. On the other side of that is the family court building. That's where if you go through child support or any type of custody, anything to do with your children and legislation dealing to do with your children, takes place on that building. That's the family court building. Now, in this building, right, this is the criminal justice center. This is where they enforce the legislation from this building onto the people in this building. Now, what's so crazy is, this building makes money because they make money off of the criminals or people who are, found guilty or not guilty to be criminals, to be committing crimes, therefore breaking the legislation from this building, right? So we know they make money off this building. They make money off the parole, the probation, the lawyers, all of that stuff, the fines and fees, right? They make money in this building off of the utilities, off of the permits, the license and inspection, right? We know they make money out of this building. This is a bank, right? They make money off loans, interest off loans, and all of that. We know they make money off this building. That's the railroad. We know they make money off this building. It's a major hotel. We know they make money off the parole and the probation building because that's parole and probation. So that explains why these buildings are here. But this building right here, watch where I go. This building right here, directly across from the center of the city, how can they afford to pay the rent? Because we know in real estate, the first 3 rules is location, location, location. So how can they have this location, right, and not produce anything? Not play part in the legislation that's produced in this building. This is City Hall. So City Hall is connected to where they enforce the legislation, the municipalities, where they enforce the legislation again, the permits and the plans and all of that come out of the municipal building, the railroad station, the banks, all of that have common ground, common unity with the legislation that's done in City Hall. But what about this building right here, directly across from City Hall? Let's go take a look. What is this building? How can they afford this piece of prime real estate? And how does this connect them to the legislation? Being as though, being as though they're directly across from City Hall, where the legislation is passed, where the mayor is, where all of these legalities, where everything gets started at. How can they afford to be directly across from City Hall? What connects them to the legislation? Let's see. Let's take a look. This building is a Masonic temple, a Grand Lodge, free and accepted Masons of Pennsylvania. Look. We've got a Masonic lodge directly across from Center City, where they passed the legislation. So let me ask you, riddle me this, Batman. What does this building produce that they can afford to pay the rent? That they can afford to pay this rent to be directly across from where the legislation takes place. What connects them to the legislation? What connects them to the legislation? All right, well, look. If we got a Masonic temple directly across the street from City Hall, where all the legislation is passed, where all the laws are created, where all the money is distributed, and we got the municipality building where all of the damn utilities and all of that takes place, we got the probation building, wouldn't you stand to say, is it a far stretch that maybe the Masons are connected with our City Hall, with our legislation, with our municipalities? Is it a far stretch? They produce nothing. They produce nothing. They don't sell anything. So how the fuck can they afford to be in prime real estate directly across from City Hall, where the mayor is at, where the legislation is passed? How can they afford to be directly across from the center of the city? And they produce nothing. They produce nothing. It's because of intelligence. The Masonic order protects the intelligence. This intelligence runs everything that we're connected to. Absolutely. So look, I was going to go in a little deeper, but it's about to rain, so I got to get out of here for a couple minutes. But I'll come right back out here. Like, I'm really not playing. I will come right back out here. I'm going to go seek some shelter, and then I come back and we build a little later. This is your brother, and I love you because I love myself. Peace.